What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nonpfixion. This is Real Fan Sports. This is my co-host for the evening and
Yes, sir.
forever is Zach. What's good, sir? How you doing?
What's good, Nan? How we doing today, baby?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Can't complain.
So, as y'all can all see, we're gonna be sitting here checking out our rankings of every single NBA team from 2022 to 2023 season. I mean, who's your favorite team? Like, okay, first off, we know it's Golden State.
Yeah.
Tell us, what do you think Golden State's gonna do? And then after that, like, let me know what team you think's gonna surprise everyone this year.
I mean, to be honest, I think the youth of Golden State is going to be a big swing for them. I know everybody's talking about everything that's been going on, but regardless of that, I think that's going to be a big point that they're going to push forward is having the young players get a lot more time to progress and also take over this team for the future. So I'm definitely going Dubs all the way.
For sure. And what team you think? What about me? Well, I mean, y'all know I got the Pels, man. Y'all know I got the Pels.
Oh yeah.
Look, it is the first time in a long time that it's exciting being a New Orleans basketball fan. You know, like the Pels got a lot of exciting things going if Zion can stay healthy. And quite honestly, I still think they have exciting things going if he doesn't stay healthy. You know, Brandon Ingram maturing. We had 3 rookies that played significant minutes during the playoffs last year. They're coming into their second year. They're going to play outstanding. I'm excited to see Herb Jones, who apparently hasn't left the gym at all during the offseason, that they were like trying to beg him to get some rest, and he just was like, "Nah, I'm good." We've also saw Jose Alvarado go and travel, playing with his national team, which was great, and then as well as Trigger Trey, man, shooting, working on his dribble moves, working on shooting off the dribble. A lot of exciting things for Pelicans. A lot of exciting things.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying. This will be interesting. This will be a good one. Definitely be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, like, I'm not saying we're going to be like a top team, like, you know, out of everybody, but I think we're going to go ahead and snag I don't think we'll drop below a 5th seed. I really don't. Like, I'd be very surprised. I think we'd have to have a lot of things go the wrong way for us to be less than that. And I normally don't speak confident. I'm not like I am with the Saints with the Pelicans. I'm normally like not that confident with them. Like, this is just me being an honest like fan of basketball. Like I really just don't see I don't see us losing a whole lot of games. I mean, I could see us winning, 45 to 50 games.
I can see that too, honestly. I think your team learned a lot from that postseason run, and also to the point where they almost took out the Suns, which I think I still believe in my heart they should have won that series, but they were this close. They were this close, and hopefully they learned something from that run that'll help propel them into the postseason again this year.
Oh, definitely. What's good, Cheesehead? How you doing today, baby? Cheesehead, aren't you supposed to be like in class or something, bro? Tell your teacher we said hey. Cody, what's up, Cody?
What
Dummy.
Up, what up? He said,
Cody's one of my friends. Yeah. He doesn't like sports.
Well, this is not a real estate class, so I don't know what you want to do.
Cody, no, Cody, I swear, if you plug in like your business card or something like that in the chat, I'm blocking you. Funny thing about Cody is that whenever I was in the hospital for my brain surgery, this dude is putting his business cards out all over the place, like all around. Cody, you're crazy, bro.
Thank you so much, Cody, for the $4.99 super chat. Truly appreciate it. He said the NBA is trash. Please contact him if you want to buy or sell real estate. Please, you guys give him a follow. It's the same name on Instagram. Go check him out if you're looking to sell. He's a good person to check out.
I mean, Cody, I guess I can't block. I can't block you if you donated. I mean, I guess I'll take that.
I guess he paid for the ad spot. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so. Yeah, this dude, I tell you, he's crazy, bro. He plugs everywhere. That's why he's doing so good this year. He's been kicking ass in the market this year.
Yeah, I've been seeing his Instagram. Definitely active. I've been checking him out, so that's pretty dope.
She said, nah, I get out at 3. Oh, okay. She said, I got you. Oh, so you just getting home then. Nice, bro. Nice. Well, like we said, we will be going over our tier list. We're gonna go ahead and give just about 5-10 minutes, kind of cut it up a little bit, talk a little BS. and then we're going to get into the video. If y'all are here for this and you can't stay the whole entire time, give back my $5 if you're going to block me. True. Gotcha, Cody. I won't block you. We are gonna separate these videos if you can't stay the whole time. So we're gonna have 6 different videos go up highlighting our predictions for each division. And so those will be up individually. And the plan is to have those all up tomorrow morning. Okay, so if y'all can't stay the whole time or miss a little bit, feel free to go back and check those videos out. And even if y'all did watch it, just go click on those videos and give them a like tomorrow. We'd appreciate that highly.
Yes.
But yeah, Cody, appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by, bro. And
Yeah.
plugging it. I knew immediately as you came in that you were going to plug your real estate business. I knew you were. I just knew it. It wasn't a doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. If you're going to pay for the spot, I'm not going to be really mad.
So, all right. So now what team do you think is going to be like surprisingly good this year?
Surprisingly good?
Yeah. Who you got some higher expectations than normal?
I won't say surprising because everybody kind of saw their development as a young team, but Cleveland, I think Cleveland's a team to look out for. At one point, I thought Houston, but I'm just not sure if they have the right leadership there for Houston to be successful. But the teams I think that may take a downward spiral might be the Celtics. Just because the leadership in that organization is kind of in disarray after the Ime Udoka situation happened.
Yeah.
I was talking about the Cavaliers all last season, so I'm looking forward to see what they do because I think the young core that they have, whoever has been doing their drafting and picking up their, the extra players from outside, they've been doing a great job. So I think they're going to make some noise, to be honest, in the East.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see that. That was my pick, but since you already said them, I guess I'll go with a different team. Another team that I think is going to be a lot better this year is you know you said that you were going to pick Houston. That's funny because that was actually my second choice. See, good minds think alike. I think I'm not saying that they're going to go and like make waves and stuff like that, but I think they're going to be a surprisingly better. I think
they'll take a step forward. They will take a step forward. I do believe that. I'm just not sure as far as the on the court leadership. I don't know. I think everybody's fairly young on that team.
Yeah, fairly young. And yeah, I agree with you. I agree with what you said about the Boston Celtics, man. But not just that, but the trade rumors that happened during the Kevin Durant thing that end up.
Very true.
Man, I'll tell you what. Anyone that got messed up or in their feelings off that Kevin Durant situation must it makes Kevin Durant look like a mad genius because he just got all kind of teams to have issues among their star players and the organization, and I don't think he had any plans of leaving. Because what they were asking for, what they were asking for was insane. No team in their right minds would do that.
Man, they were asking from the Phoenix Suns. They were asking for pretty much their whole starting five.
Yeah,
I'm like Kevin Durant is a great player. I will not take that from him. He is a great force to be reckoned with. But I just don't know if you're worth that much. I don't know. Like I can't see it. But I mean,
I know from us they wanted like Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, and they wanted picks on top of it. And I was like, BI is just a younger Kevin Durant, slightly less talented, but like not like what? And you want picks, and he's younger. Like I was like, oh my god. I was like, I swear, if anyone entertains that in the Pelicans organization, I would not be mad at Brandon Ingram for being pissed off. I just wouldn't. But we saw Boston Celtics.
They put together a package.
Yeah, but we saw the Celtics and Brown get a little upset about him being involved in that conversation. Like he did not like that. And me and An have talked about it before. We're going to talk about it a little more later. Is that we kind of think that he's the best player on the team. We don't think it's Tatum like everybody else says. We think it's Jaylen Brown.
I think it's Jaylen Brown. I mean, there is a very, very high ceiling for three players on the Celtics squad, and two of them, Brown and Tatum. The ceiling is so much more exponentially higher than everybody else. But I just there's something about Brown when Brown is allowed to take over the game that you just don't see when Tatum does. And Tatum, he faltered in the playoffs a lot. He also faltered in the finals. maybe that won't happen again. Maybe he'll stop trying to channel Kobe and just be himself. But if he can just be himself, who knows what we'll see? You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
Brown, he just looked a lot better in some situations compared to Tatum.
Definitely, I agree. Um, let's see here.
Got a couple of votes right now on the poll so far. If you haven't noticed, there is a poll up where you can vote. It says who wins the championship this year, East, West, and of course the last one was the troll one. I don't really care, but I'm here. So right now, I don't really care. In the West, it's tied at 40%, and the East at 20%. So there's probably 2-1. I'm gonna
Well,
assume.
it's kind of funny because man, last year was like big time, like big time East. Like East had
Yeah,
so many dominant teams, and the West just kind of had like a couple,
yeah,
but the West ended up winning it. And
yeah,
I think this year the West is a little bit more of a powerhouse this year. I think it's even. I think it's more even as far as talents from one to 8 that's going to make the playoffs. I think
yeah.
it's a lot more even this year.
I think last season a lot of talking heads definitely doubted the Golden State Warriors and thought they weren't going to be anywhere near as good as they were 3 years ago, and it just the youth of that team. I keep talking about the youth. How I don't understand how these teams allow Warriors to steal players that they should not have access to. They shouldn't have gotten Kaminga. They should have never even been able to get Moody. But I guess it's like, what do y'all not see that the Warriors see? And then they take these guys and change them into future All Stars, possible Hall of Famers. Like it's just
I
it's
mean,
something
look,
that's different.
Golden State's just been helping players get the bag because I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
they help young players that come in play pivotal role moments that go and get a bag on another team, and there's no hate towards it.
yeah,
And then if they
yeah.
have the option to keep them, then they put them in a spot to where they can win another championship.
And then, yeah, be successful. Like GP2, he got the bag in Portland, and I hate that he left, but I'm not mad that he did because it was kind of one of those situations where we necessarily didn't have the money to keep him. That's
Yeah,
the problem. So
definitely.
still got love for him.
Yeah, facts, man. But all right, guys, we wanted to go ahead and just give a couple minutes to allow a couple people get in here, talk a little bit, get a little overhead. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and start getting ready, and we're gonna roll into our tier list predictions. So, Nan, run it up.
All right. All right. So welcome back to the channel, you guys. My name is Nonpfixion. This is Real Fan Sports, and this is my co-host Zach. And Zach, take it away, my
Yes,
brother.
sir. So let's go ahead, jump into our tier. Let's go ahead and put the tier list up on the screen. Let's let the
All
people
right.
look at what they're getting.
So let them see what they're getting.
Yeah. We try to be a little more creative with these tiers. So we're gonna go ahead and have these here. We got our S tier, aka championship contenders.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have our A, we're gonna have our B, we have our C, and then we got our lost at C, and then we got the Wembanyama sweepstakes. Who's gonna go and grab the up and coming rookie, the guy who just like stunned the world the other weekend during
With
the
a
G
crazy
League game
triple double.
against the Ignite? He put up 36 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks. He's already been quoted as the alien by LeBron James. He's out from France. Man, did you catch any of those highlights? Like, how is he possible?
I end up actually watching after we spoke about it. I watched some highlights on YouTube, and I'm gonna be honest. It's impressive the numbers, but maybe it's because of his size. It didn't look impressive.
Right,
Maybe,
well, yeah, I can see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying.
but I mean, it's there's tiers to everything. You know what I'm saying? And when we have players that's in that G League and they're playing against the Ignite, which is basically G League players as well, sometimes you just have those games where a player just stands out and just looks better than everybody else because they're just at a different speed. And of course, that's how he looked to a point. Like I said, the numbers were freakishly good, but it was like I need to see more. I have to see more for me to be convinced.
Yeah, I mean, as a rookie and coming from another country, there's always a little bit of a learning curve. But I tell you what, when they come into the
Oh yeah,
NBA and step up, speed, allow the game to speed up for them or slow down, it's gonna be looking good. So, I mean, everyone thinks that there's gonna be a lot of tanking, and that's why we got this sweepstakes going on. Like, do you expect to see some teams like really taking this year, or like, I mean, there's some teams that are just gonna be down there regardless. We'll get into those.
I
But do you think guys are
I
gonna tank and try to grab that number one spot?
I do believe there's going to be some teams that's going to tank. I do believe that. I think in the beginning they won't make it look so obvious, but once we get past the All Star break, we'll be able to probably pick those teams out.
Yeah,
You know what
definitely.
I'm saying?
Well, look, I mean, as a Pelicans fan, I hope the Lakers just shit the bed again, and because we got their first round pick again this year, so let it be a lottery. Um, but with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on in to our tier list predictions, and we're gonna go ahead and kick it off with the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division, which is going to include the Nets, the 76ers, Toronto Raptors, Knicks, and the Boston Celtics. We
All
got
right.
Nets up first. What you got for the Nets, Non?
Okay, so I saw them play and I seen Ben Simmons. I just oh man, I don't want to say they're not championship contenders because they do have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but I want to put them in an A. I want to put them in A. What about you?
Yeah, I like A. I like A. I think the only thing that even keeps me from putting them at an A is just because of how bad they've been the last 2 years. But,
Yeah.
you talk about Ben Simmons, and I like that you bring it up because even though he airballed the free throw, and there's a viral video going around where he airballed a shot at practice. He came out and said, "You think I airballed all of them? Yeah, but like you airballed one, and that's all that matters whenever you do airball them consistently." So, but I think he still brings a great element to the team. So I'm cool with A.
Okay, we'll start them with A. If we decide to change it, we'll change it.
And then we're going to have the 76ers. 76ers finished 51-31 last year. Up there at the top dogs of the East. What you got for the 76ers?
So with the 76ers, I mean, I know everyone in their mom is going to say championship contenders, and I think it's to me it's on the cusp because of James Harden. I know James Harden has looked good in preseason, but there's been plenty of seasons where he's looked good in preseason, and then the season he just looked like James Harden. He just looked regular. James Harden without the beard. So to me, I'm going to say A for them as well, but I'm going to put them in front of Brooklyn. I think they have a much better chance than Brooklyn does.
So I am actually really excited about the 76ers this year. I think this is going to be the best all-around Harden that we're going to get. And it's not just with the what we've seen during preseason with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of the conversations that I've seen between him and his coach, where just talking about playing as a all-around great player, working the ball around, create scores when you have the chance, but create
Yeah.
openings for other people, allow other people to get hot. Don't just play dribble, 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 dribble,
Yeah.
shoot. So that's one thing that I think is going to be great. And then, they got another young buck as well in Maxi, who I think is
Maxi is nice.
phenomenal. He's
Maxi
phenomenal.
Is nice. Yeah.
You can have them at A, but I'll let everybody know I got them at champion contender. They are the number one in the East for me.
Okay. Well, we'll do this. We'll put them up there. Boom. Championship contender.
I like it. I like it. Next up, we're going to go out into Canada. The good old Raptors, man. Raptors, nice young core. They got Barnes. They got Siakam. They played pretty good last year, 48-34. What do you think about the Raptors going into this season?
I'm not really sure. I don't have like a full comment on them because I know we watched a couple of games last season and we did a couple of games last season. I just never saw enough on their core to really give like a full, honest answer. I mean, I do think they're on the upper echelon of the East. I'm just not sure which part. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being honest. I haven't seen enough of them to really know. But what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, man, when it comes to Raptors, I like that they have a young core. I thought
Mhm.
they looked really good last year. They had a couple guys that showed out in the All-Star break, and
Yeah,
they got teams and players that can do the job, but I really thought they were going to go out and do something during the offseason this year. I thought they were going to go and try to grab some type of big name. I mean, they're two better veterans on the team, being Siakam and Van Vliet. It's just kind of eh,
they definitely
you
need
know,
something to accompany them.
yeah. And I think that's what they're missing. I still think they're a good team. I still think they're going to be around 500. But I'm leaning like B, like low B maybe.
I was actually just thinking that too. Like I was like, I think right now, before we get to the rest of this list, I would say a B. I would agree with a B as well.
Right. And if you're tuning in to just the division video and you want to see how the rest of them turn out, make sure you go ahead and follow the list. We're going to have all the videos up one after each other, and go and check out because there might be some adjustments. Don't get too excited or too mad about where you put your team yet. But that's going to bring up the great New York Knicks. Wow. Look at them. Brunson. They grabbed Brunson from Dallas. They got Barrett. Still, he's been looking pretty good. But they had the absolute worst draft I think I may have ever have seen. Um,
Yeah, kind of felt bad for Spike Lee and
and Stephen A.
and
That's
Stephen
saying a
A.
lot.
Yeah,
like they both were sitting here like, wait, who is this guy? He averaged 2 rebounds. I can average 2 rebounds. There, yeah. And then they take the pick and they trade him and they get nothing for him. I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it.
I mean, I
Oh,
know there's talent on that team. I just, I think they're a. I don't want to say a lost at sea team, but I just feel like that's what I see when I see that organization administration.
I think that's exactly what they are. I don't think they're lost at sea. They may still get like 30 wins or something like that,
Hmm.
but they're still lost at sea. They got nothing. They don't have much promise for them. They have nothing. I don't know. And they try to get Zion. So you know what? You can stay lost at sea. I don't want you to get a chance at getting Wimbenyama, but stay lost at sea. And then lastly, to wrap up our Atlantic division, we're going to go ahead and check out the finals contenders. Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics were 51-31. They got Jason Tatum. They got Jaylen Brown. But they have some issues. You want to let them know about those issues?
Well, the biggest one is Ime Udoka. You know what I'm saying? The scandal that he's been a part of. He's no longer. He's been reclused from the team. Of course, going into a season where you just went to the championship round and now you don't have your head coach. This first month for them is going to be bad. They're going to win
Mhm.
some games. They're going to win some games and beat some lesser teams, but the leadership is. I know there's four other coaches, but it's still not the same as in the main coach who's supposed to be there. And also just Tatum, like which Tatum is going to show up? Is it the Tatum that's going to rock the Kobe Bryant high school jersey? Is it Tatum that's going to wear Kobe Bryant shoes? Is it the Tatum that's going to try to channel the Black Mamba, or is it Tatum that's going to be himself and just be the best Jason Tatum he can be? With this team, they have such a high ceiling because of all the talent on this team, and they've been there almost every season, close toward the playoffs, and every season they find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. I'm surprised they didn't
Yep.
lose to Miami Heat. If it wasn't
Yep.
for Jimmy Butler trying to take a three instead of beating Horford and going for the two, they wouldn't have been in the finals game. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So with them, I put them there since they're still top tier. They belong at the A. They belong at the A. It just depends on how they look in this first month. This first month and a half is where I would decide either keep them at the A or put them at true championship contenders. I know Boston fans would not like that, but that's just honest truth.
Yeah, I like when I don't like being the person that has a team that goes into comes out of a championship, win or lose, and then like they
Hmm.
kind of drop out of that. But I feel like with the situation of that going on, the trade rumors with Jaylen Brown, and we all saw his his attitude, or his amount of upset that he was towards that situation when they were trying to get Kevin Durant. I think there's going to be some weird things going on in there. I think their defense is still solid, and that's the thing that's going to win them a lot of games. So I agree with the A. I agree with the A.
And do we put them before Brooklyn?
I got him. I think I am behind the Nets this year just because of coaching, just because of the situation.
Okay. All right.
All right. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up our Atlantic Division. So from there, let's go ahead and jump on into the East, the Southeast Division, which is going to start off with the Washington Wizards. Right. Let's see. Wizards. I mean, look, we got Wizards. We got Beal. Beal, he's a good player, but is he worth the several, $100 million that he's getting paid? I don't know about that. They got Will Barton. They got Kuzma. Kuzma's, I think, more into fashion than he is basketball lately. No offense, Kuzma. I actually like Joe and the Lakers. And then you have Porzingis, the unicorn. I still just can't get over that name. What's your thoughts on the Wizards?
Just like the player that you mentioned, the potential for them to have a good solid core is kind of there. It might be too much money thrown around at that team at this moment, but for whatever reason, Bill I don't know if he's just if he's just not that guy, and I don't see them as a championship contender whatsoever. I don't see them in Tier A either. And if I had to see a series between Washington and the Raptors, even with Bill, I feel like the Raptors still have a chance. There's no he's going to destroy them. No, the Raptors still have a chance.
Right.
So I'd have to put them in the B tier, to be honest. I have to put them in B tier.
Well, the Wizards were 35-47 last year.
Okay.
I don't even know if I have them in the B tier. If you want to be honest with you, I think I kind of have them at the C. Like you said, they throw a lot of money over at Beal. They don't have much of a supporting cast around them. I just don't think the Wizards have really been that relevant since Beal and Wall were a good little combo, but even that never fanned out the way that people thought it was going to be. And why do we think Beal and Kuzma or Beal and Porzingis is going to do that?
You're right about that. You're right.
I'm putting them at C.
When you kind of throw that frame around that picture, it makes sense, and I would say I can agree on the C. So sorry, Wizards fans. At least they're not lost at C just yet.
Yeah, look, they still
one more big contract. They're there. One more big contract to the wrong player. They're there.
Yeah, I mean, they're at C now. They're just not lost. They're at least going in a general direction. But one wave, one good little current might draw them the wrong way. And then we're gonna go into a team that I'm super excited about. This team. I kind of can't wait to watch the Hawks play. The Hawks, they went ahead and traded and got DeJounte Murray over from the Spurs. Great young baller. Amazing defense, can create scoring opportunities for himself. I do think that he's going to go a little crazy out in Atlanta now that he's not held by Popovich's leash, as we saw him during the games that happened this summer where he was banging the ball off the back of the head of other players. I thought that was a little too much. Like I want to see a little less of that, but I'm okay with a little bit of it. I like a little bit of it. But then we got Trey, Bogdanovich, Capella. I like him. I like him. Where you got him? What you thinking?
This team is an exciting team. Now here's my one thing. It deals with Trae Young. I think Trae Young should stop trying to focus on being Darth Vader. Stop trying to be the villain. Just play your game. Don't worry about being the villain or be the good guy. Just play and be you. Because he's so interested in doing the bow after hitting the big three and shutting teams down. It's like, just play your game. Just play. Your game speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? Just play.
I agree. I agree and disagree. just a little. And the reason I disagree is because
Mm-hmm.
that's just Atlanta. Like this team really like speaks Atlanta. Like when I think of the Hawks, I think of an Atlanta team, kind of gritty, kind of got a little swag to them, kind of cocky, kind of come up with some attitude, I like it. I like it. And maybe that's why I do like watching the Hawks play. And I might not like the Falcons at all, but not to bring them up, but I like the Hawks, man. I have I don't know if I want to put them at A, but I think they're a lot better than the Raptors.
Yeah, they're better than the Raptors. They're
But I
definitely
also
better than the Raptors.
yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said they're definitely better than the Raptors. Now, are they on the same tier as Boston and Brooklyn? I could see them taking out Brooklyn in a 7-game series. I can see that.
Mm.
Boston, because of Boston defense and how they adjust fairly well, they may not be able. They may be able to do it, but then we saw what happened when Steph went Super Saiyan. So, and being that Trey is the most compared to player to Steph Curry, maybe they couldn't hold him. We never seen Trey really go that Super Saiyan, even though he's had some great games where he's turned it on and shut crowds up. But I can see him being a tier. I can see that.
Well, let's go ahead and
I
rock
wouldn't
with it.
really go. Yeah, I
I'm
wouldn't go
cool with
against
the A.
that.
I'm cool with the A. And again, guys, make sure if y'all are just checking out this video of this division, make sure y'all check out all the videos because there may be some adjustments at the end. So don't get too excited or too mad/sad about our predictions because this tier list could change a little bit as we get through it.
Mm-hmm.
But going on from the Hawks, we're gonna go up against the Hornets, the Charlotte Hornets. They got D'Angelo Ball. They got
Yeah.
LaMelo Ball, but Melo just got hurt. I don't know what the extent of his injury is, but let's just assume that everyone's healthy in this situation. What do you think about the Hornets?
Um, even with LiAngelo getting $1 million for a 1-year contract, it's the Hornets. I don't know. They've never been one of those teams where you just knew right off the bat, oh yeah, they're going to the ship. They're going to the ship.
Right.
No, that's just not. They'd have to be a B tier for me, even with LaMelo, and I like LaMelo a lot. I like him a lot, but I'd have to put him. I'd have to put him at a B tier, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Hornets, them having Gordon Hayward, they have Oubre Jr., and then they had a guy in Bridges who was a great player, but he wants to go and beat up his wife/girlfriend, and and like I think a whole bunch of other stuff with it too. And now going to be seen in prison. Like, it's like, boy, it's on paper the names look pretty good. It looks like a team that could put confidently in B and even edge of A, but I think they're below the Raptors.
I'm not even sure if they're below the Raptors, but I do see B. I see B. That's
All right,
just the truth.
let's go with it. You can put them above the Raptors if you do. You've been following my lead. All right, so next up, Miami Heat. Miami Heat, number 1 last year, ran the East. Look good, man, but they just kind of went quiet in the playoffs, and I feel like all hope went away from Miami right once our boy Lowry decided to do the full court flop. I will never forget that. I will never forget that. That was the highlight of the NBA playoff year.
That was a viral clip for us on Instagram too.
Right, yeah. And then you're gonna have Tyler Hero, who's gonna go ahead and get paid 150 mil. Oh God, what are y'all doing, Miami? But they still got Jimmy Butler with his new locks. Now he said he's gonna take him out possibly. But what's your thoughts on Miami?
Now, okay, so I think last year Miami, bearing that the injuries they don't have, Miami beats South Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Outright, I can say that confidently outright. If they don't have the injuries that they had at the end of Eastern Conference Finals, it'll be in Miami versus Golden State because Boston was barely holding on to a game lead, and it was really just Jay Butler going crazy like he did in the bubble. So it's like you couldn't hold one man, like you couldn't hold one. I mean, Tyler Hero came back towards the end, but just wasn't 100%, so he couldn't really give his all. Of course, they had a bunch of injuries. So I think if this team is healthy, and this is like second or third year in a row that they've been at the top of the list and has been a number one seed. You got to give them a championship contender. You got to put them
Oh,
there.
I 100% agree. Nothing changed from their team. Like
Yeah.
really, there's not much shift. They still got
They
Butler. They got
Haslam.
Lowry. They got Haslam. They got Adebayo. They got I think I think you're right. Their defense alone, it puts them at championship contender.
I'm with it.
And then that'll come on bring up our last one for the Southeast Division. It's going to be the Orlando Magic. They got Paolo Banchero. So I mean that's good. But I mean, maybe they should just take. Maybe they should just take it, try to get Wembanyama. Like
Oh my goodness.
They got Cole Anthony, they got Fultz, they got Mo Bamba. Do we think they are the first tankers, or do we put them lost at sea with the Knicks?
See, I don't know if they're lost at sea. I can see them tanking for Wembanyama. Oh man, that's a hard one with Orlando, because Orlando's they're another team that since I was a young person, they've been okay. You know what I'm saying? They've had great players that were drafted by them and picked up. Shaq's been there and Penny's been there, but it's like right now in this modern iteration of this team, I'd have to say they may be in for the sweepstakes.
Get your ballot.
Big bucks, no whammies. They're going for it.
Put them in the sweepstakes.
Put them in the closet. All right.
Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up the Southeast. Now, let's go ahead and hop on in to the Cleveland Cavaliers, which are in the Central Division. Mm-hmm. Cleveland Cavs. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Young group got into the play-in, couldn't quite get into the playoffs, but almost looked really good. I really like the Cavaliers, man. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, like I've said before we actually started doing the video in the earlier part of the live stream, as much as me being a Warriors fan, you don't really want to like the Cavaliers because of what that means, but I like this young core. I like them. I can see whoever is, in their top offices and doing their drafting and picking up their outside court players. They're doing a great job at looking at talent and make sure the talent is going to work together. They're not just picking up players because the name sounds big and it's going to sound big on a team and it's going to sell jerseys. They're picking up players that look like they will play well together. And this core, I know they're not championship contender right now. I won't even say they're not even in the A category right now because of their youth. But if I put them in the B, they're the top B category. They're number one in the B.
Yeah, and let's not forget the big acquisition that they got during the offseason, grabbing Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Donovan Mitchell with Garland back there, Jared Allen, who's going to be, healthy coming into this year, hopefully. Yeah, they're definitely high B. They're definitely high B. I think it's not. I don't think it's questionable. They finished 44 and 38 last year. I could see him grabbing 50 wins this year. I really
like you said, with the addition of Mitchell, that's just them bringing in somebody that's a little older to help show them part of the way. Yeah, he's there to score and do his thing, but just give him a little more elder guidance.
Definitely. Next up, we're going to have Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls, and I'm going to say this right now, I actually really like their team. Mm-hmm. But they're missing one piece, and it's sitting not on their bench, but at home on the couch because he just can't get healthy. He's just dealing constantly with this injury, and that's Lonzo Ball. I think Lonzo Ball is a huge difference maker on this team because Lonzo is one of the smarter guys in the league. He's one of the few true point guards out there. He's really good at facilitating the rock. He understands defense. He plays good defense. Can get streaky with scoring every now and then, but he gets every player involved whenever he wants to. And when you have guys like DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Caruso, White, the center who I'm forgetting his name right now. Like you need a guy like that. What's
I
your thought on
agree.
the Bulls?
I wholeheartedly agree. I think, like you said, the team is a solid team, but unfortunately, we see how they look without him, and it's that person to get that ball around to the right person or to the right player, especially in the moments when they're hot or they're, a true point guard can see when certain players are about to warm up. It's like they feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mhm.
AI in a system, and they just know who to go to. And I think Ball is a really good facilitator. He's a really good one, and the fact that they don't have him there, he's really good at doing the backup, doing it as well. But it's just some I Ball just does a really damn good job, and I would say minus him, I don't know if they're going to be successful even getting close to the playoffs. Like they may be close to like the eighth seed,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I think without Ball being there, it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, I mean, we've covered all East teams so far, and
Yeah.
we're looking at the Bulls, and with Ball, I think they're like somewhere in that pack of the B that have a chance of making the playoffs with Ball, depending on how much longer he's going to be out for.
Hmm.
But with him out, I think they're high C, and
I mean, yeah,
and I
absolutely.
don't like saying because I like their players, I like their components, but that's where I look at them.
It's just unfortunate that he had to have second surgery because he couldn't even put pressure on his foot. He couldn't stand on it. So if
Yeah.
you can't stand it, you can't practice. That means there's something else going wrong. And they went back in for a second time just recently. So, like you said, he's going to be home. He's going to be home occasionally at home games, never any away games. So I would say I agree with C, and I put him in front of Washington in the C.
Yeah. All right, so now we're going to go to another team that wasn't very good last year, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Pistons finished the season off 23-59. They have your boy. Find him real quick. There we go. They Cade Cunningham. They went ahead and drafted Cade Cunningham last year. They got another Bogdanovich. They got Bagley. But like they're just not a team that does anything exciting. There's no expectations for the Pistons. There has been expectations for the Pistons since what? Your boy that wore the mask, what, Richard
Yeah,
Hamilton and
that's
and
yeah,
company.
that's been a while. That's
It's
been a
been a
really
while.
long while.
It's been a while. Where do you got the Pistons? What do you think?
They may be a team that we'll see towards the All Star break. That's going to start that push for Wembanyama. You know,
I think
I
so.
I don't see them really making the playoffs or even being a true contender. I mean, we know things happen and accidents happen and also injuries happen. So teams who normally wouldn't be there can propel themselves forward and jump some teams because injuries happen. But this is not one of those teams. I just don't see them being there. I just, like I said, I don't even consider them lost at sea. I just think they're going straight for the sweepstakes, and
Yeah.
it won't happen right away. Like every team's not going to happen right away, but
Right.
some teams
No,
are going to make
definitely.
it's going to become obvious around All Star break, and I think this is going to be one of them.
I think you're exactly right. I think obviously we can be wrong, and a lot of times,
Oh yeah,
we aren't
yeah,
100% right. There's always teams like, man, I mean, well, the Jaguars now in the NFL are looking like they're looking like ass, but at first they were looking really good, and we were like, dang, we only gave them 3 wins. They almost had 3 wins in the first 3 weeks. So I mean, we could be completely wrong, but
yeah.
for now, yeah,
Definitely could be.
join the sweepstakes.
Welcome in. The
Wembanyama,
water's warm.
the win, the Motor City. Um,
All right.
and that's going to be, excuse me. And that's going to go ahead and bring us up to the Indiana Pacers.
Hmm.
Uh, this ain't a very strong division, non. It's ain't a very
No,
strong
it's it's
division.
it's it's not. Yeah, it's
It's
not.
been it's been a lot less exciting than some of the others. Uh, Pacers finished off 25-57. Uh, I don't think they did anything really good during the offseason. They went ahead and grabbed Buddy Hield, but they got rid of uh their other player that was their star and traded him out to Sacramento. So it's kind of like you kind of just swapped out, like it didn't make sense. I think they're kind of, I think, you know what? There's going to be a great rivalry in the Central Division this year. It's going to be between the Pistons and the Pacers, and who's going to go ahead and grab and win the sweepstakes of Wembanyama.
could be right. You could be right. Yeah. As with the Pistons, I think there's a lot of rumors that the Lakers are going to go after Buddy Hield as well. So he may not even be there towards the middle of the season, to be honest with you. So um, this team, do we want to put them in sweepstakes too, or lost at sea officially?
I think they're in the sweepstakes. I like
Yeah.
they're honestly, when I look at their team, I think they're worse than all the rest. I think they have less chance than Magic and Detroit. And looking at Detroit and Pacers, it looks like I could put Magic up, but I'm not going to because I don't think they're good enough. Like
Yeah.
and then that brings up finally we got some exciting ones. The Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, I love some Bucks, bro. I love
We started our new division now.
no, this same division.
Okay.
Yeah. But I love the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh yeah, I like Giannis.
Bro, I love Giannis, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Giannis. I just love how humble he is, man. Like he's just so good and so humble and just realizes that, like he's just trying to be the best Giannis he can be. He's not trying to catch up to anybody else. He's just continuously trying to get better and trying to do whatever he can to win games and do it in the best manner. They got Drew Holiday still. They still have Middleton. I think they're still a great team. I just don't know where to put them. Where would you put them now? What are your thoughts?
I mean, because of Giannis, you have to put him in. I would say you have to put him in championship contender, because they won a championship recently. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to put him up there. I do feel like they may be missing a piece to give them like that all around, Dragon Ball Z firepower that they need.
Mhm.
Because I mean, towards the end, the only reason why they didn't make it towards the end is they had injuries, and it's because some of their players are just older, and it's
Yeah.
because if you're depending on Middleton, I'm saying nothing against him, but if you're depending on Middleton to be that guy to help with Giannis, you need somebody else. You need somebody else that can come in that's a little bit younger and step it up and just do the same things. I know Middleton is who he is because of his age and because of his experience and his time in the league. But just like with the Warriors, how those older players are teaching the younger players, he can teach somebody else as well. It's definitely potential in that. But I do like them. I like Giannis, and like the video you sent me of him just shows how humble he truly is, and him knowing that he's not the best player. He's not. Okay, reconnection is successful. I wonder if they're working on the internet.
Maybe so.
Okay, we're back. We're back on the phone. I can see us.
All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and hop on over to the West. Man.
Before you
Yeah.
I know we're doing live stream, we cut some of the stuff out. So just say before when you do your intro to each division, so let's hop over to the West and give me a few seconds to run that slide and then go into what you want to say.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, ready. All right, let's go ahead and hop on over to the West. All right, so we're going to start off with the Southwest. We're going to check out the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks, put a little bit of surprise. I didn't think they were as good as what they did. I didn't think they were going to get up to, just a couple games away from the finals. But they did it, went up against Golden State Warriors, got handled pretty well. They finished last year 52-30. They did make one move that let's see. Oh no, you're good. You're good. But so anyway, so with the Mavs, they did add one piece that I think does make them a little bit better, but they did lose a piece that makes them a good bit worse. They went ahead and got rid of Brunson, like we said earlier, who went to the Knicks, and then they went ahead and grabbed Christian Wood from the Rockets. They still have Luka. They also got McGee, Finney Smith, Dinwiddie, Bullock, but those guys are just kind of role pieces. They really don't have anyone that stands right next to Luka, real tall, that you can be confident in to take the game away if Luka's having an off night, or just to give that man a rest. What's your thought about the Mavs?
Welcome to the Dallas Mavericks. If you're a fan of Dallas Mavericks, you know that Mark Cuban he doesn't really spend money the way he should. He's a millionaire. Of course, he's on Shark Tank, but he should be a Shark Tank for his team and actually get better players. You have some good role players that surround him, but at the same time, Luka has to carry too freaking much. He has to do too much, and because of that, it's going to be situations like it was this last season. He's gonna either tire himself out or get injured to a point where, of course, a Brunson and a Dinwiddie have to take over. But of course, with Brunson being gone, we don't have that in the picture no more. Dinwiddie still has the potential, but Dinwiddie just hasn't shown up. And so because of that, it just what is playing in the background? Sorry, I'm so sorry. I don't know. There's something playing.
I know, I hear it. I don't know where it's come from. Oh, that ad right there.
Sorry about that, you guys. That just I hate when websites do that. So, but with that being said, like Dallas for the bulk of it definitely has a good squad. I mean, they're a playoff contender for sure. They're probably like a fifth, fourth seed. I could say, that's a possibility in that range, either fifth to sixth. But because look at when we're in the playoffs, the shooters didn't show up to be shooters. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a part of the reason why they didn't get past where they need to get past. They weren't going to be a team that could shoot the lights out. They didn't have the potential.
And it wasn't like they weren't getting open either. They were getting open. They just were missing shots. There were several times when we were covering those games that I was just sitting here like, just make it, just knock it down. Because it's like, it's right there. It's right in front of you. You don't have no one. You don't have a hand in your face. Everyone's still out of the paint. It's like, oh, you just can't make it. But that is the problem. And when it comes down to having all role players, they have all amazing, great depth of role players. They don't have another star. And in today's NBA, it is really hard to make it to a championship. It's really, and they've done it consistently, make it to the playoffs, but it's hard even to make it to playoffs without a second beast out there. And they just don't have it. So I mean, where do you want to put the Mavs? I mean, I don't know if I want to put them A. I kind of got them at B or low A. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I'm in the same area that you're in, so I'm thinking a low A or a high B. But it's just like I said, like you were saying, every team that's been successful in that championship run or that top of the A tier, they have two stars. Even if the second star isn't amazing, he still can hold his own when he's on the court by himself. Because Kyrie can do that. Tatum on a good day can definitely do it. You know what I'm saying? It's there, but it's so much work for Luka to hold down the squad by himself. Even though Bleacher Report put him as the best point guard, which is Bleacher Report. You come on now. Anyways, but I would say, as of right now, I would say probably like a low A. Low A.
Okay, I'm fine with that. What's up, Jerry? Said afternoon, fellas. What's good, OG? Appreciate you stopping by. We're just going ahead and doing a little tier list. All of this is going to be put into a separate video, so make sure you check that out if you're interested. But for now, let's go ahead and move right on. We're going to go with the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, I know, man, I know you hate them. Yeah, you have to hate, or you have to dislike them. We don't hate nobody, but we got to dislike them a little bit. Grizzlies finished off 56-26 last year. They got Ja, they got Bane, they got Brooks. They got that young grittiness to them that makes it feel like, they're all kind of like veterans on the court in a way, just with like a little bit of immaturity. I think that's the only thing that hinders them is just immaturity in certain moments where it's like, I just would like you to just like, instead of like taking in adversity and then trying to bounce it right back out with some type of smack talk, sometimes you just need to take it in and then just show it up on the court. And then allow them to talk afterwards. Not before you actually show up to the game. But I really like the Grizzlies. I really like Ja. Ja gives me flashbacks of Allen Iverson, who's one of my favorite players. Very explosive. But where do you got him? What's your thoughts on the Memphis Grizzlies?
I think they're pretty high. I don't hate the Grizzlies. I don't hate the Grizzlies. I do. I think that humbling themselves can get them a lot further than just talking trash all the time. Because when you talk trash, and of course when you beat Warriors by 50, then the last game you can't do anything. The last two games you can't do anything. it's that talking. That talking, it makes your head bigger than what it should be. They're very talented. They're top tier West. They're very top tier. But just calm down a little bit. Let the game come to you. Don't try to just take the gritty to everybody because it don't work sometimes. You gritty on somebody's logo and look what happened. You lost. You went home. You know?
Yeah. As far as the tier, man, I really think they're definitely A. They're definitely A. They're better than the Mavs.
They are better. I do think they're better.
I'm contemplating whether or not I think that they should be the first West contenders for the championship.
I don't know. I'm telling you, I think part of, like you said, their maturity is what throws it off because everybody compares them to 2015 Warriors, but at the same time, the Warriors weren't immature compared to them. The skill level, I could see the teams being the same, but the maturity level is just different. I mean, that's why they grabbed Iguodala. But of course, when the Memphis went after Iguodala, the team didn't want him, and they said let the old man go to the Warriors, and it benefited us.
Right. Well, in that instance, let's go ahead and say let's put them like kind of higher side of A.
I mean, this for instead because it's the West, I'll put them right there. So this is all East, and they'll be at the top of the West.
I like that. I like
right
that.
Right now.
And then after that, we got my New Orleans Pelicans. I'm gonna say this right now as a Pelicans fan. If Zion can play like 50 games this year, I think we get a no lower than a fifth seed, but I really see in us being a third, possibly fourth seed. I don't think we go up any above that, but I could see us being a third or fourth seed. We got, Brandon Ingram coming into full form now, coming into his prime. We got the young guys, Herb Jones, one of the better defenders in the league. Didn't get enough love last year for it. During preseason, he blocked the guy's shot over a pick. A guy set a pick. He jumped over the pick and blocked the shot. It did make sense. I didn't know it was humanly possible to do that. They got Trigger Trey. They got they have Jose Alvarado, Grand Theft Alvarado, what you want to call it. They still have the veterans and Larry Nance and CJ McCollum that they got extensions to. Man, I'm excited. It's first time in a long time I've been excited about Pelicans basketball, probably since like 2008-ish. And I have them above Dallas. I think they're better than Dallas.
I do think they're better than Dallas. I definitely want to see how this first month and a half for them is. I want to see how they bounce back, and from because they should have beat Phoenix, but there was something about the team, maybe not maturity level, maybe just experience level, where CJ McCollum wasn't enough to get them over that hump. So I think for me, they're floating between an A and B tier. It would be high top of the B and middle pack of the A tier. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. And guys, so y'all know the way we do rankings, if it's my team, Non picks a spot, Non, throw them at the B. Throw them at the B if that's where you're comfortable at.
So for the top of the West B. So
after that, we're going to go check out the San Antonio Spurs. And I don't have the direct quote, but it was basically Ko Popovich said that don't expect us to win a championship this year. They lost to Dejounte Murray. They got a young team. They really don't have a whole lot, really going for this team. And, I love Coach Pop. He makes miracles happen, but he ain't turning water into wine this time. I think he's, they're going ahead and probably going to join that sweepstake. I'd say out of respect for Coach, I might put him lost at sea, but honestly, Pop might be like, we're just going to go ahead and grab someone really good next year. So they might want to be a part of the sweepstake.
Yeah, I couldn't put them lost at sea because they do have good leadership. So I couldn't. The reason why Knicks are lost at sea is because of what they did in the draft. That's just that they deserve that role.
Let's put this out there right now. Popovich has the Knicks team. They're a B, maybe C, a B tier at the worst or at the best.
Yeah. But I would definitely say it's a possibility they may be making that push for the sweepstakes. It's weird because I can never imagine Pop doing that just because of how Pop coaches.
Yeah.
So if it was minus the sweepstakes, I'd probably put them at they'd be the first West team in the C tier.
All right, let's put them at C.
So
put them in the C. Give them a floaty, or no, the lost at C, right? Is that what you said?
Oh, I just said the C tier, not lost at C.
Oh, okay.
Because for me, lost at C is there's just a lot going wrong with that. Regardless of how good a team is, that leadership is wrong. In New York's leadership, there's something wrong there.
I got
you. Wrong there.
And then we're gonna go ahead to the Rockets, last team in the Southwest. Rockets got Jalen Green, Porter, Jabari Smith, and they grabbed the great. And when I say great, I mean this dude's in movies, right? Boban, all right. He tried to kill John Wick. Houston Rockets finished 20-62 last year. They got a young team. They did lose Christian Wood, which I think makes them a little bit worse. I like their young team, but I think they're either lost at sea or I think they're sweepstake. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's not like they made a dramatic change last year during the offseason or during the draft that it makes it feel like they could jump out of being lost at sea or possibly getting a number one pick. Where do you got them?
I mean, Houston definitely provided some great memes last season because obviously they didn't think Steph was that dude, and they tried their best to dog him out, and he put him up on notice, let him know like I'm that guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I only because the ownership of Houston has never been to me the greatest. They make some very questionable decisions when it comes to their team. I could say the loss at sea and still the sweepstakes or even just the C tier will be all fine for me.
Well, they got to go on one. Let's go ahead and spice it up. What do you think? Lost to C or sweepstakes? I'm down for either or. Lost to C looks a little low. Like the Knicks look a little.
Let's go lost at C. They need some company over there.
They need some company. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up the Southwest division. And we're going to go ahead and jump on over to the next one. Let's see what we got. We're going to go from the Southwest over to the Northwest. And the Northwest, we're going to start off with the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets, they did a thing. And that's just the best way that I can kind of put it. Is they did a thing. They got Jamal Murray, they got Michael Porter Jr., they got Aaron Gordon, and they got Jokic. All that sounds fantastic. They are a consistently top 4 or 5 team, consistently. But injuries has hurt them. And it's hard winning in today's NBA when your best player is a center. But let's all predict everybody's healthy. Where we put them, a healthy Denver Nuggets.
I know people right out the bat will hate what I'm about to say, but I still put them in the B tier. Because there's nothing that jumps off the screen to me with them. Even Murray healthy, yeah, he looked great in the bubble, but so did other players. You know what I'm saying? Devin Booker looked great in the bubble, but Devin Booker last postseason looked mediocre at best. So I would say they would be a B tier.
Yeah, I'm completely okay with that. I mean, I know Jokic,
even with the MVP.
two-time MVP back-to-back. And I'm just I'm still not excited about you being MVP. I still don't. Yeah. B tier. Next up, we're going to have the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves, a lot of action going on here in this division. Timberwolves made a great push during the play-in tournament this year. They looked really good. I mean, actually, a matter of fact, they won the play-in tournament championship. They are the champions. I mean, we saw them. They were jumping on the announcer's table. I'm pretty sure confetti came down. They might have had champagne popping in the locker rooms. I don't know. I wasn't there. But they got rid of Pat Bev. Pat Bev, isn't a amazing player. but his toughness, physicality, and stuff like that, it shows. It makes an appearance on the court. It kind of hypes people up. And then they went ahead and grabbed Gobert, which I still don't understand. Like Cat and Gobert, that means we're gonna have to put Cat as a full-time power forward. It might work out really well, especially since his shooting ability has became high tier. But like, I'm not going to make a big money move for a guy like Gobert, who's just a paint presence in a league that people don't go into the paint as much anymore. Um, you know, they do have Ant-Man. They have D-Lo. Ant-Man, I think, is a very going to be a great like up and coming star. He's at that level.
All-star.
Yeah,
Consistent all-star.
he's about to come up to where his name's going to be heard all around. What are your thoughts, man?
I think their toughness just got traded to the Lakers, basically, because they took on his attitude basically last season, and you could see it because even Cat, who kind of like mild mannered, Clark Kent style, he never was that dude like that. But once they had Patrick Beverly, all of a sudden we seen it come out of him, and it was not a bad thing. It worked for them and helped them propel to the postseason. But I think that's going to be a knock on them. D'Angelo just not having the ice in the veins that he supposedly used to have. It's part of the reason why the Warriors got rid of him and sent them off to Minnesota. If Ant-Man can just go crazy every game, then okay, yeah, I put him in B tier. I put him in B tier. But I just don't know about the squad. And also Rudy Gobert being there, that is a walking L. Like the dude, he's a great defender, but he doesn't score any points.
He's a great defender when people go into the paint. I'm thinking the same thing, especially if we're going to put Nuggets at B. I don't think they're as good as the Nuggets. I know a lot of people, like I've heard people say they think they're going to be like a fourth, fifth seed this year. And I'm like, maybe they're delusional. Like I'm delusional with the Pelicans, but like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
I mean, Gobert gets abused by good point guards. So there's too many memes of that. So he's not a real difference maker. We'll leave that nonsense to the talking heads. I will definitely put them. They're playing possibility, so I'd put them, but we're gonna put them on top of the C for the West.
Mm-hmm. Yep, cool with that.
Well, top of the C. So.
All right. After that, we're going to go ahead and check out the Utah Jazz. They lost Donovan Mitchell, as we said earlier. Mm-hmm. They got Clarkson. They got Horton Tucker from the Lakers. Conley, Sexton, Alexander Walker. And, to me, their team is just kind of filled with a bunch of role players. And they're another team that I never understood how they got into playoffs. Like the last 3 years, and then they lost their two best players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do what you do with that what you want. What's your thoughts? No, I mean,
Utah is in a true rebuilding year. That's the part of the reason why they got rid of both players, because they weren't trying to spend that money knowing they weren't going to go to the playoffs or knowing they weren't going to be inside of the play-in. Because being just outside of the play-in it's a potential is there, but it's too dangerous of a team. You don't want to be that 10, 9, 8, 7 team. You don't want to be those teams, especially it gives you don't want to have to play the extra game during that time of the year. You want to have that time off where you can actually rest and relax and recoup and ice and stem like most athletes do. I definitely put them in their sweepstakes. I think they're straight sweepstakes.
I think they are. I think they are too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we're going to go up to another young team, the OKC Thunder. The Thunder, let's see, where they finished off last year. Let's give it a look. The Thunder finished off 24-58. They got a young, 24 and 24 and 58. They got a really young team. They just don't have leadership yet. I feel like they're trying to develop that leadership. They did go out and grab Chet Holmgren, which I really didn't think he was going to be much in the NBA, but he has looked like in the summer league did look like he's going to be a pretty dominant player. It looks like he's going to be someone too exciting to watch to go along with Giddey and Shai. I don't think they're in the sweepstakes. I think they're better than the Spurs. Even though they had a really bad record last
Yeah,
year, I think they're better than the Spurs.
I think talent wise, especially because Dejounte Murray is now with the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, Atlanta the Hawk. Definitely think that they're better than that squad now. So I can agree. C is if you want to put them.
Yeah,
You know,
I like C. I like C. And then our last one, Portland Trailblazers. Portland Trailblazers have like just disbanded their whole team. I mean, they got Dame Lillard. That's
yeah.
about it. They got Dame. They do have Josh Hart from the Pels. Love me some Josh Hart, but I mean, Josh Hart is he's just Josh Hart. It's not spectacular. I, do I want to put sweepstake or do I want to put lost at sea? That I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Only because Dame was injured. I think they just on the back of Dame, it's a possibility they can be a close to a play-in type of team.
No shot.
If Dame is 100, if Dame is healthy, I can see it.
What's he gonna have to do? Play
He's
48 minutes the whole game?
He's already done it
at his age now.
He's already done it.
Okay, they'll possibly be a play-in team if Damian Lillard shoots 55% from three. And like it's the only chance, man. It's the only chance. That team is no good, bro.
I mean, I'm not saying they're good. That bottom tier of the West is not the greatest. It's not the greatest. Most of the teams are going to be struggling to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. San Antonio is not better than Portland. So I mean,
I also think San Antonio belongs in lost at sea. The only reason why they're there is because of Coach Pop, because we just can't put them there because they'll never be lost. Like
they'll never be lost. So I definitely don't think they're worse. As far as this being the West, I definitely don't see them worse as San Antonio for sure. It'd be hard for them because of the youth of the Thunder, and then Minnesota to me, even though I know we have them here, it's still a toss up for me. Like I have to see them play. I have to see what kind of personality they come out with because I'm telling you, their personality was because of Patrick Beverly. So whoever I want to see who they mimic this time. Is it going to be Ant? Even though Patrick Beverly said it's Ant's team, but still I got to see it. So I don't know if it's lost at sea because of the money they gave Dame before, so they might not be able to do the Wembanyama sweepstakes. But
I mean, for the hopes of them, bro, I hope they get into the sweepstakes. That's the only chance of them being relevant again. Like, who wants to go out to Portland to go play? Unless they're forced.
Yeah, I mean that's just all deal with trades and teams, but Portland's never been a destination that people want to play at. It's just never been that.
Oregon's beautiful, though. Oregon is beautiful.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But yeah, I mean, go ahead, do what you want with it, man. I'll take your word for it.
Like I said, I would say put them at C. That's where I would put them.
Okay.
I think because of money, they can't be in the sweepstakes. I don't know if they'll be able to do it financially.
He might tell them no. Like, no. All right.
And then I don't necessarily see them. I won't say they lost at C because I think a lot of time when I think of lost C, I think of how bad the organization is, and I'm not saying that they're bad. I don't know if they have the money to do the moves they want to make.
Yeah,
it's a small market, so I would put them here.
Okay. Yeah. And then, all right, we're gonna have our last division. Goodness, what division is that? I always forget. Pacific
Northwest.
All right. So last division, we're gonna have the Northwest. Pacific Northwest. We're kicking things off with a banger in the Pacific Northwest. We got the Sacramento Kings, the player killers.
The player killers.
But we've talked about this on a variety of different streams. They got Darren Fox, and you know what? Fox should just stay there and continuously get the biggest bag he can ever get there until he gets a little bit older and decide he wants to go and try to get a ring. That dude is a special talent. I love Fox, but
I love Darren Fox.
But it's just him. It's just him. They did pick up Sabonis, like we talked about. They did pick up Sabonis from the Pacers. Mm-hmm. They have Davion Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell's brother. But I mean, knowing them and what they're going to do with it is, they're not going to do much at all with it.
The problem with this team is they got rid of Buddy, so that was a problem. They got rid of a really good shooter, somebody who actually played well with Darren Fox. Like you, even though they're older players, you still could have built around them and made a push for something. But then when you got rid of him, you were just basically saying, we don't know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
if I'm Darren Fox, I make a push for Portland. Go play with him. At least you
that'd be fun.
At least you be with a player that you know is going to give you consistent 25, 30, and whatever. But go there. Go play with Dame. But leave. I hate that he's stuck there. I'm from the West Coast, and that's a team that no one takes serious. No one takes the Kings serious. Their arena is nice,
Mm-hmm.
but no one takes the team serious. So
Yeah.
I can't even put them in C tier. I think because of
Yeah.
their ownership, I'd put them in loss at C.
Yeah, I'm down with it. And this is when it gets exciting and interesting because all
Very
four
interesting.
all four of these teams, depending on like what's your view of them, could be put anywhere on this list for the most part. Anywhere anywhere like C and above, obviously.
Yes.
But we're gonna start with the Clippers. This is my thoughts on the Clippers. Last year, they were without their two stars, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yes.
And we talked about how, as a basketball team, they looked amazing. They were playing full competent basketball. Like, they weren't trying to force the ball to anybody. They weren't trying to do anything super crazy. They were just playing the like highest tier of basketball that they could play with who was on the court. Every player stepped up in a way that was special. And a lot of that goes towards Jackson. And now we're talking about getting Kawhi back, getting Paul George back, and also the signing of John Wall. And I think now that Kawhi and PG are out there and should have a respect for these younger players and these other guys, these other role players that showed up as stars when they were out, I think this team is scary. And they are actually a team that I think, as a shocker, could get the number one seed in the West. And I mean that.
I mean, and I do agree with you. And the one thing that I have realized about the West, number one seed doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
In the East, it does. In the West, it definitely does not. But I mean, the Clippers, they're the guys who played when the injuries were pretty much at all-time high for them, and their stars were out for pretty much the entire season for the most part. Paul George did come towards the end. He looked okay. He looked good for the most part. But Jackson just played out his freaking mind last season. And I feel that with, Kawhi coming back fully, Jackson may regress because he's no longer going to be the star of the team, per se. And I think there's going to be a few other players that's going to notice how the space in the room is going to get a lot smaller. You know what I'm saying? Now that Kawhi's ego is there. So they, on paper, like you said, they do look like probably the best all-around team defensively and offensively, and probably should be considered a championship contender, just on paper. I would like to see them play together, even though I don't think it's going to be a super downgrade. I would like to see them play together.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not in disagreement. Like I said, it's all going to depend on those stars, opening the ball up and allowing whatever player's hot that night to feed them, allow them to continue to be hot. It doesn't always have to be about one singular guy. Everybody can't be 100% hot on fire every single night in, night out type of situation. Even if you have like a Kawhi or a Paul George averaging 30 points a game, which would be in the top 5 at least in the league, but if you're taking 40 shots to get there, what does it really matter?
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, the potential for them to be championship contender is there 100%. I would like to see how they play together. But it's on, I think, Kawhi as a team leader and on George as a team leader to really see that they're them guys that they weren't on the court with during the time. They played their asses off and they played damn good. Where you have to give them their respect. And I don't like the Clippers at all. And you have to give them respect. They played really, really good without their stars.
Definitely.
So we want to put them at the just for right now. Put them at championship contender.
I want to put them at a championship contender. I do.
Okay, I'm in agreement with that.
Now we're going to go up to the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, man, the most surprising thing during the offseason with the Suns is the fact that Monty Williams hasn't talked to any of his players. A part of me is kind of like, okay, you give them a break, let them just kind of live their life and do different things. But whenever you finish the season the way that you did in the playoffs, where there was a lot of chaos going on within the organization between players and staff, you would think that you would have actually had some type of conversation going into it, especially when it comes down to your star center, who is honestly seems little bit upset that he didn't get traded. That's not a good sign. They got Devin Booker, but Devin Booker hasn't been looking like the star, and we've talked about that. We think it's because the ball just goes through Chris Paul too much, who is good. Obviously, he's one of the better point guards to ever play the game, but he's older now. And it's funny, right once he hit that birth date during the playoffs, all of a sudden, that was it. He was like irrelevant.
Yeah.
It hit him like a rock. We saw it in person. It was kind of crazy. And the funniest thing is the game right before that, he had an NBA record.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on the Suns this year?
This team crapped the bed in the playoffs. Like, I mean, you're lactose intolerant. You drank a gallon of milk before you went to sleep. Like, the way they fell apart against the Mavericks, like, what happened? You let one player demolish your entire crew.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, by what you're saying about the coach not being in contact with the players. Now, what's crazy is you throughout the whole postseason, basically, we've seen videos of James Harden, we've seen videos of John Wall, we've seen videos of LeBron James, of Steph Curry, of Klay Thompson, of Draymond Green, of Jordan Poole. Like, we've seen all these videos of players outside practicing, players from the Heat practicing and running together and practicing together in different places, different cities, and running the Drew League and running crazy. Trae Young and DeJounte Murray.
We didn't see it.
Didn't see a single Sun.
Oh my god!
Didn't see a single Sun player. Usually Booker would be at the Drew League. I didn't see him.
I didn't see him either.
And then you laugh at it and joke as the coach saying, I haven't even spoken to those guys. You gave them a break for what? Your guys' claim the entire last season was we're the best team in the NBA. That's why we're number one. We're the best because we're number one because we're the best and we have the best all around team. And that was proven to be wrong. And maybe you are the weakest link, coach. You're not putting more on this team.
Making them do more. Williams too. I don't like saying that, but I kind of agree. I mean, he's a laxed coach. That's how he coaches games.
He is.
It's very laxed.
That does work with some players, and it doesn't work with every player. And in that essence, he should have been with. I mean, hell, we've seen JaVale McGee in the postseason working out. We've seen JaVale McGee, and he got traded to another team. So it's like, how is he doing it, but no other player on the Suns is doing anything? Man.
Well, and that comes down to the question: where do we put them? Personally, me, I mean, I got them. Man, I know they won. What was their record? 64-18. I know that was their record, but I do not see them better than any of these A-tier teams. I don't see them winning against any of these if it comes down to playoffs. I see them winning some of them in the B tier. Some of them.
I mean, I told you during that postseason, the Pelicans should have beat them. Pelicans should have won. They should have not. They should have not lost. And I know all the talk heads, well, the Pelicans are outmatched. No, Suns were outmatched. Pelicans just kind of fell apart towards the end because of this was their first time really getting there.
Yeah, McCollum fell apart, and it was the first time being there. Yeah, exactly. I can't put him any higher than B. I just can't. Where in B? That I really don't know. I mean, if
you're watching this video and you're a Suns fan and you disagree where I'm going to put them, please let us know why. Because I don't think they're better than the Pelicans right now. Because they should have lost to the Pelicans. It should have been Pelicans and Dallas. That's what it should have been.
and then we would have had some banger live streams. We got
That
a
would
lot
have
of
been,
we have a
fun.
lot of we have one diehard Mavericks fan here. God, I'm so mad. All right, Lakers. We got LeBron.
Yeah.
We got Westbrook. Sorry, I said I was gonna stop. I said I was gonna stop saying that, and I forgot. We got Patrick Beverley.
And
yeah, and then we also have Street Clothes, aka Anthony Davis. They got rid of Horton Tucker. Don't know why.
Bad decision.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Lakers. I hope they're in the sweepstakes. I'm not gonna put them there, but I hope they are because we get their draft picks next year.
I mean, if they aren't, I think this might be Rob Pelinka's last year. To be honest with you, Jenny Buss has already came out and said she's fed up. So it's her money, it's her team. Rob Pelinka and LeBron has not put together a team that has been successful. Yes, that they promised. And I think Patrick Beverley coming along definitely does help on the defensive end, and the potential is there because LeBron is a great defender when he wants to. When he doesn't want to defend, he's like a matador. He's gonna let you buy.
What I saw last year with the Lakers that I think frustrated me the most was that we talked about their age being very high, and then we talked about a lot of these guys having this superstar attitude, where you talk about LeBron, but if I'm LeBron, I'm getting pissed off too that I'm the oldest guy there and no one's getting back on defense with me. And then you see him
and
stop.
I'm still dropping 34 a game. I'm averaging 34 a game. Like, what is that?
Yeah. He should have. He literally missed being the scoring leader by one game. One game, the other person just popped off. I can't remember who it was. Like, it shouldn't be like that for LeBron, man. Thank God this dude spends like $2 million on his body just to stay healthy because. I'd be infuriated. There was a lot of things that were just laziness that bothered me with the team. And I don't know if it was just age or if just people were just felt like they were too Hollywood to play defense. Like, I don't know.
Here's a question for you. You were a Pelicans fan. You've seen AD in his quote unquote prime, his early prime. Has his body actually changed since he's been in the league?
No. I feel like he's very lackadaisy now. I mean, look at
he's comfortable with his position.
Now he has, he did try putting on some weight. That was it's hard to tell. He's so tall, man. 10, 20 pounds doesn't look the same as someone like me who puts on 10, 20 pounds. That didn't work. He tried cutting weight. That didn't work. And then we saw after, during the playoffs or right after the playoffs end, he was at someone's house and they gave him a basketball and he's like, oh man, I haven't shot since the regular season. So he hadn't shot in 3 months, hasn't put up a ball in 3 months and hit the ball off the side of the house.
Which is crazy when you see LeBron shooting around with his sons. And even though it's with his sons, he's still shooting around.
You're an NBA player. You don't touch a ball every day. Or at least once a week, just go out there and just put up a couple shots during your downtime. You don't work. I say you don't work. You're an NBA player. Like you don't have a 9 to 5 to go to during the off season. You're just chilling. So you're telling me you didn't just spend like an hour a day just to put up shots? Where do you put the Lakers now? I'm tired of talking about them. They piss me off.
Only because I just don't know what to really make of this team. This is another team that so far it's about 4 teams I say I need to see them. And of course we'll see them because they're the first game of the season. I'm just gonna say maybe a B tier. You have to give them that because they have LeBron.
LeBron's what's holding the glue together. And like we said, it shouldn't be LeBron. It should be AD. AD should be carrying this team right now. LeBron should be able to take a step back. Shouldn't have to be
LeBron 40 has said that. LeBron said it should be his team. He said that multiple times. Yeah. LeBron knows that. LeBron's getting in age. He realized he shouldn't have to carry the squad.
Yeah. So, where do you put them? I mean, they're behind Pels for me. I don't know if you put them behind Suns. I don't know if you put them behind Denver. I don't know.
I might put them right in front of Denver because I think this even with Denver, I think they could take Denver out in the 70s.
Poor Denver, bro. So good. So I don't know. Whatever. Enough of Denver. All right, man. Last one. That's gonna wrap up our tier list. Golden State Warriors. Take it off, man. Let us know what's good. What's been happening lately?
Well, like I said, the Golden State Warriors have a great youth players, Kuminga, Mooney. They've added some great players from the Bucks. I mean, I'm just happy. We got also Green, who also came over, another defensive prowess player, and he's a 3-and-D. He can shoot. Now, right now, every person on the team can actually shoot a three.
And aren't y'all getting y'all's the young guy back? Isn't he going to be healthy this year?
Oh, Wiseman's playing. Wiseman's
Yeah,
already playing.
Yeah, he's already been playing.
He looked good in the preseason as well too, and in G League. So, I mean, I definitely think they're championship material. I think that for sure. As long as you have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, and Kevon Looney, and even with the backup Wiseman, who's going to start occasionally towards the latter part of the season, the sky is the limit for this team.
Yeah, I agree, and this is what I'm gonna say. And you said it earlier. In the West, it really doesn't matter what rank that you have when you go into playoffs, whether it's 1 through 8. It's just a matter of if you get there and what happens. The Warriors, I don't think, are going to be a team that's going to be like number 1 seed or something like that. Not saying that it's not possible, but they play very smart. They play a lot of different players throughout the season, and then that like final month, 2-month push when we get into like February, they turn it the hell up.
Well, they just want to be top 3. They don't care about being 1 no more. They used to, but not anymore. You can see it.
Yep. So yeah, I'm with that, man. I think they're championship contenders.
Where would you like me to put them? Because once again, this is my squad, so you get to choose.
I'm putting them at championship contenders. I think they're a team that, unlike the Celtics, I feel confident about going right back.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. There you go.
Well, that's it, man. Well, let's see. Just kind of looking at it, make sure there's nothing like obvious. I mean, I still think the Pels are better than the Mavs, but that's fine. That's fine. It all looks pretty good to me. I kind of like everything. I like everything, and this is a pretty good list. Solid list, non.
I think a solid list too. I'm not saying the Pels are worse than the Mavs. I need to see them this season how they bounce back from the loss they had. Because I mean, to me, like I said, they are a low A. But I put them at the top B just to see. Cause I still think they're better than all the other teams in B. To be honest with you, as a collective squad,
I think so too. But that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for us. So, guys, make sure if you hear from the divisional breakdowns of this content, go back and check out the rest of the videos. That's going to be clipped right at the end of this one. You can start from the top and work your way down. We are ready for the NBA season. Me and Nan do go live very, very often during the NBA, especially once the NFL finishes up. We will be doing NBA non-stop, and during the playoffs, we cover like literally just about every single game. Like sometimes we're on here 9 hours straight, doing live broadcasts of the game. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. Non, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Man, thank you for watching and press and play, man. We thank you. Appreciate you being part of the family.
For sure. And this is also going to wrap up the stream, guys, because I do have to go to work. So those of you that have hung around, that's chatted. Cody, once again, bro, appreciate it. Thanks for the dono. Love you, brother. Jerry, thanks for popping in. Cheesehead, appreciate you for stopping by. I see there's also a couple guys lurking. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by and tuning in while we're doing our broadcast here. Like we said, we plan on being live for Sunday night, Philadelphia versus Cowboys. But, just, like I said, no guarantee, but that is the plan. So make sure y'all turn those notification bells on and you'll see whether or not we'll be there or not. But we'll definitely be here for Monday night. Unfortunately, Chargers versus Denver, of course. But yeah. Of course. All right, Nan, send us on out.
All right, so we appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and we hope you guys have a great weekend. And like he said, please check out this video and check out the others. If you disagree, let us know why. Give us your honest truth of what we showed you in our tier list. So appreciate you, love you, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace, love. We are out, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Cheers.
Peace out.